Good morning. Welcome to the Ray channel, Ray Supp, R-A-Y space S-U-P-P. You know, I wish my shit would have said, "What's cracking?" Because I used to say that a lot back home. What's cracking? Hey, what's cracking? Right? And I used to say that on my voicemail. When someone would call me, it'd be like, "Leave a message after the tone." I'd be like, "What's cracking?" Beep. Right? My ex fucking hated that shit. She used to be like, "You still have that fucking voicemail?" Cheers, motherfucker. I don't know why I wanted one this morning. Earlier before that, I was like, man, I would love to get a coffee. Right now, it's drizzling like a little fucking bitch right now. I was getting on my phone a little. But it's alright. Just gotta let it spread a certain amount. Lulu was getting on my nerves when I got here. She just kept tugging the wrong way, going this way, going. I'm like, dude, just chill. Like, just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's just getting too much anxiety. If she's just, it has to be. Look at this. Here comes another negative person fucking texting me, trying to ruin my day. Anyways, so what I was trying to say is that she's just being a brat. I don't know what it is really. Like when we're out and about, I think she gets confused. She doesn't know where to go, and she starts like veering away from me. But I'm trying to get her to understand. You need to stay next to me, dude. You need to be next to me, and I'll tighten it up. So she's like right next to me, but she's still like, she resists too much. But and I don't like it. Especially with this, sometimes I don't want to do all that extra work where I'm chasing her and doing all that. I just want her to drop it, and then I'll throw it so she can go get it. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose. Other times, I think she's just a spoiled brat sometimes. She doesn't really, she doesn't really want to obey or bow down, which I get, because I don't want to bow down to the system either. But I just don't want her to get hurt. So like earlier when we were coming out of the apartment complexes, you know, I have the harness on, and she's going this way, and there's a Jeep that's coming, or like a SUV was coming down the way, and then there was a black car behind it, right? So it's coming, and I see her veer off to the sidewalk, and I'm like, okay, good. She's finally learning to stay away from the cars, right? That fucking SUV passes by, and then here comes this black BMW, all black rims, black fucking tinted windows. It's just like, woo, right? And this fool, I swear, she's like, she starts mobbing it to the car, like, "What you doing over here, nigga?" Like, you know, and I was like, oh my god, like, I could totally see her personality. Like, she was literally trying to roll up on the car, dude, like, who the fuck is that? You know, and I'm like, dude, are you serious, bro? Like, and I had put my foot, because like the string, it'll drop. It's a good amount of, you know, length. So when it's dropping and it's dragging a little, I'll stomp my foot on it, and it prevents her from going anywhere. You know what I mean? See, now she brought me the tire. When I ignore her, it's just better that way. I just ignore her, so then she can just drop it. She'll get into a gaze, and then I can grab it. If she knows I'm gonna grab it, see, she'll bounce off. She'll take off. She wants to be chased, you know? Earlier when I got out of the shower, it was so cute. I noticed that every time I get out of the shower, she wants to lick me, you know? Like, you know, right here, all over, you know, like, because I'm wet. And I'll be like, move, mama. I don't need all that, you know? But then I was getting this sense. I don't know what it was, really. Like, it's probably like just a spiritual thing. I was getting this sense that she wants to be a mom, right? Like, it's in her, something deep down inside, right? And of course, you know, every woman wants to be a mom or a dog or whatever, right? But it was just a weird, like, future pretense sense to where, like, later down the line, not right now, because she's not even a year yet, but when she gets old enough and I know she's got it down, I'm gonna eventually get her a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Not now, just because of everything that's going on, but I'm gonna get her a boyfriend, and then they're gonna have puppies, and then she's gonna nurture and do all that stuff. But see, by that time though, I want to be like way living out there in the country, maybe doing some farm work or whatever. Let the dogs do what they do. You know what I mean? And just kind of like let them build a big old family. Because I mean, I know some people, they do that. Like, you know, like my sister, she's got a bunch of cats. You know, like, and she has Sky. Sebastian and Foofy or Luffy or whatever the fuck. But yeah, you know, so it's like, I don't know, I just thought it was cute. Like I just knew it was like deep down inside, like I could picture it. It was weird. Like I saw her when she was older and she was actually being a mom, and then she was giving me a look and I was giving her a look like, oh man, you came a long way, you know, like you were a brat in the beginning, but now you got settled up and now you're a mom, and you know. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I can see the future, you know what I mean? It's just like really fucking weird. Like the first time I ever moved out here, I remember standing on the balcony when I was living with my sister, and I had some pretense that hit me, and I was like, man, when am I ever gonna see my nephews again, right? Because I really cared for them really deep down inside, back at the time. Like I had such a strong bond, but I learned to kind of like over time, it's like, it's just what happens, you know what I mean? Like learning to let go, I guess you could say. But at that time, I was like, man, when am I gonna see them again? And I heard in my head, 5 years from now. And then I swear to God, 5 years later, they came down. They called me. They were with their mom, and they were just on a short visit. She was with some people or whatever like that, and we chilled. We kicked it, and they were like older and grown, and I was just like, man, this is a fucking trip. And they were chilling in my ride, and I remember Frankie was sitting in the front, and he's all like, "So right, this is a fucking badass ride, Uncle." I don't remember if it was at the same time or not, but I just remember kicking it with them like on numerous occasions, different times, you know what I mean? But it was right. Whatever it was, whether I was seeing the future or something was telling me that pretense, whatever. 5 years later, I even counted it from the time I was there to the time that they had arrived. It was just some crazy shit. Anyways, long story short, I don't know if some people know about this, but these are known as Hebrew numbers, right? 1, 2, and 3. But it's actually, from what I heard, you turn it upside down. I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna spill out my drink. 666, right? Monster, and then it's got a cross here. I know some people know about it and some people don't. But when you turn it upside down, it's like because from what I was learning with my cousin, like God does everything beautifully, spectacularly. Like nobody can beat God ever, right? That's why it's only one word, God. There's nothing else that tops it. You could say like Buddhist or I don't know, like those little weird fucking other names that people like gravitate towards, like, oh, you know, the Santa Ramia and the Santeria and this and that, and that's all fucking small, stupid, weird, wicked, fucking spiritual shit that you don't even want to fuck with, you know what I mean? Like, but it's always pertained to one word: the Creator, the One, the Only, and God, right? Boom, that's it. And then, well, there's Jesus, but Jesus is pretty much God that manifested himself in the body to come down, right? So anyways, well, with the cross, it's like a positive, right? It sits there, but then when you turn it upside down, it's like demonic, right? Because from what I was learning, like my cousin told me, he's like, the devil's a copycat. He tries to copy God, but it's like the opposite way, right? And it kind of makes sense. Like, I remember I used to drink these Sparks, right? I don't know if people know about it, but when I was living in Victorville, they were like, it was like an orange and silver can, right? And he used to have a positive at the top and then a negative at the bottom, like a battery. It looked like a fucking battery, and I was like, what the fuck? And I used to be like, I used to drink them. I used to drink like 5 or 6 of them. Sometimes I drink like 5 or 6 of them and then go to work, dishwash, bust tables, getting money, you know? I think I was at that job for like 5-6 months, and then I got caught for robbery. No, I'm just like, I got in trouble for some stupid shit. It was actually just some bitch that was beefing it with me because I wasn't doing what she told me to do, and I was rebelling a little bit. She was kind of like spoiled there. They were all family oriented, but you know, it happened. Shit happened, you know. I didn't really let it bother me or whatever. Like, it sucked that I got fired, you know. But I mean, how long am I gonna be at a Japanese restaurant or a Chinese restaurant? You know, I had numerous amounts of other jobs. You know, I got a bunch of experience in a bunch of other areas. When I really got serious, I'm not gonna say I didn't have any long-term jobs, because I did. I had worked at On the Border, which was like a Mexican restaurant, and no, it wasn't no fucking Nabriga shit or whatever, where I was catching immigrants. But it was literally called On the Border. It was on Armagosa, I believe, or Amethyst, some shit like that, Amethyst Road. It was a Mexican restaurant, and I was a dishwasher, and they paid a lot for labor, you know. At the time, for labor, at that time, at that year, labor was like $10, $11 an hour, right? Which was good. It was good money. Like now, if you think about it, like over here in the casinos, you're getting paid between $11.25 to $12 an hour, right? Or $12.50, $12.25, whatever, somewhere between there, right? That ain't shit. That ain't shit. When I was working back then in 2000, I want to say like 2008 or whatever, I was making that money. You know what I mean? Like, we never come up. As a society, we never fucking come up. Like, oh, the minimum wage is going to go up. Every fucking year or every other year when it goes up, the taxes go up too. 2 months later, right? Sometimes it just goes up before you even get your fucking... Like, I've been noticed, I don't know if anybody noticed that. I think it was like the last couple of years or 3 years. Like, you were getting taxed. Like, the taxes were going up. And then we weren't even getting a raise. Like, we weren't even getting any, like your pay wasn't going up. You know, because, like, each year or every other year, your minimum wage goes up. The wages weren't even going up, and they were taxing more. Like, they were taxing, like if you were getting your minimum wage, you know? And I was like, how the fuck does nobody see this shit? And you know what's funny, though? Is, like, I truly believe God's really got your back. Like, no matter how they're trying to fuck you, you know what I mean? Like if you work at a tip job, and you get in your hourly pay, people tip you, like, $1, $2, right? A couple dollars. All the fucking time, the dollars, right? You ever watch that movie Casino? When it was fucking not Danny DeVito, that little short shit, the fucking dude that was I can't remember his name. Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. If you ever watched Casino with Robert De Niro and that little short dude, I don't know his name. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that fool. He's like real famous. But everybody knows him, right? He was like the right-hand man that was working under Robert De Niro, and he was like the muscle, right? And he played in Goodfellas too. And that dude, right, he was talking in there when they were talking about, like, the Italian mob and all that stuff, and they were talking about the money and how it was being transferred from one area to another, and how they were paying the mob off through the casino and shit. And he's all like, all they did was talk about the dollars. You know, the little here, little there, always the fucking dollars, right? That was a little hint right there, right? No matter how many times, I swear, like, that they try to fuck you on so many ways and so many levels, you still survive, right? On $1. You know what I mean? Like, the way you get tipped, like, yeah, we get 20s and 10s and 5s and shit like that, but majority of the time, it's $1, right? People tip $1, $2, $3. You still get by. You still pay your shit. And you have money in your pocket to go out and have a good time if you're watching your money right. You know what I mean? And that's what's funny. It's based off that dollar. That dollar still fucking gets you going. That dollar still allows you to survive. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. It's kind of everywhere. Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, right? There's a hint there. You know what I mean? You go to Walmart. You know, they got the clearance rack. It's like something cents on the dollar. You know what I mean? Like, it all started with the fucking dollar, dude, you know? I don't think people think about that shit. You fucking punk ass. Swear, dude. Fucking bit me. Anyways, yeah, so that's part of the message I'm trying to push out, though, too. I just decided, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna crack this and just say whatever's on my mind, you know, because I was a little frustrated with this fucking... What's up? Because, I mean, not to be mean, but she's 8 months, she gets frustrated, she has high anxiety, she gets hyphy, she's got all these other mixes of breeds, she hasn't figured herself out, and probably by nature, she's like, I'm fucking sexually frustrated, I'm fucking angry, I want to run, I want to do all this shit. So that's why she gets like that, you know what I mean? And I get it. I get frustrated too, you know? Especially like if I get like really, really stressed, like I want to fucking smoke a cigarette. But I'm trying to like not to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a nasty habit, you know? I picked it up, I think, when I was like 12, 13 years old. I know that's kind of young, but there's kids, man, I remember when I was younger, we used to have these neighbors named Mikey and Brianna, and they had a wild ass white family, right? Like they were some crazy ass white people, but they were cool as fuck. I miss them. I love them fucking fools, man. My mom would party with them, but I remember this little kid. He was like younger than me. I think he was like 5 or 6 years old, and he's all like, yeah, and he fucking grabbed a beer, like a Corona, and fucking was like, and then he ran inside. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I drank a beer. And they're like, oh yeah, good for you, like the parents. And I was like, what the fuck, you know? I didn't have a fucking beer until I was like, fuck, I think I was like 14. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I was like 4. I don't know. My brother was the first one to actually give me a fucking beer. Like I had a beer. I remember my cousin Weddle was looking at him like, and my brother's like, what, fool? He's like, you can have one. That's where it started. That's where it all started, you know what I mean? I mean, but it doesn't matter. It's not like I blame him for anything. It's just basically like how life starts for you. You know what I mean? Like whatever that might be. Cigarette, weed, a beer, a piece of candy. You know what I mean? Maybe some cake. Like, you know what I mean? I feel personally, because I was thinking about this when I was walking up this way. We all sin, right? We all sin in one way or another. Like whether that's masturbation or you have a scab, like maybe you pick at a scab all the time and you eat it. Like people are fucking weird. Like I used to know a homegirl, right? I used to work with her. She used to like watching pimple popping videos. Like she was like, oh, watch these pimple popping. Oh, it was so fucking gross. Like black heads, white heads. Some of them would puss out like really stringy long. And you know why she liked to watch that shit? Because I was observing her and I can calculate shit real quick. I was like, beep, like a fucking robot, right? She was fucking watching the shit, and I was watching her arm. You ever see people get goosebumps? Like, right? Like really fast. And when you get goosebumps, you're like, ah, oh, you feel a chill, right? She's addicted to that. You know what I'm saying? That was something that she enjoyed, I don't know, mentally somehow. Because when she would watch it, she's like, ooh. And she would get these goosebumps, you know? Whoa, bitch. Sorry. I like how this fucking thing keeps doing what it's doing. I hate when she gets all up in the shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like back the fuck off a little bit. I mean, I love her, man, but sometimes, I have a limit, you know, like, you could love your kids, like, a lot, you know what I mean, but then sometimes you're like, oh, they get on your fucking nerves, you know what I mean, every now and then, like, at least twice a week, that happens. I want to say, go get your tire, what are you doing, go get your tire, go get your tire, or we're not gonna play. Whatever. Oh, so basically, back to what I was saying. When I was walking back here, or walking up here, I was just starting to get some shit where I was like, okay, you know what? Like sinning wise, right? Back to the sin. So I was like wondering, okay, like last night, this is a while back. I want to say like 2 or 3 days ago, I had found a cigarette. Like, I don't know, I'd be doing weird shit when I'm drunk, right? And they're like psychological things, right? Like to test myself, or maybe I'm psychologically testing myself, preempt of future pretense. And I'm going through my cabinets. I was looking for a snack or something, and then I needed like a bag, and I happened to reach up at the top, and boom, I found something, and it was like a pack of cigarettes with one cigarette in it, right? One cigarette, nothing else. And I was like, what the fuck? And I left it there. And then last night, something was tempting me, like, hey, get that cigarette, puff on it, puff on that cigarette, you know, get it, you know, like, it's just one cigarette, you know, if you don't really like it, you just take a couple hits and put it back out, hit it later. And I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from, you know? like I know it ain't me. I've been good, you know, this whole time. I haven't fucking been smoking, you know what I mean? So it was it's the sin, right? Because if you think about it, whatever happened in heaven with the war and shit, where like the iniquity grew in Lucifer's heart, right? And God knew that, like, oh, okay, and then he tainted it, right? Like the Adam and Eve story, where they say like, oh, he tempted Eve to eat the apple, and then after that she persuaded Adam, right? I don't even think that's what it was, like her persuasion. I think he knew, like, Adam wasn't a dumb motherfucker. I think he was like, you know what, if I don't partake in it, then it's not gonna work, right? Like, there was something in between there. Like, the man knows, like, oh, okay, now I gotta go down with my bitch. That's what my cousin was telling me. And I'm like, you know what, that makes sense, because let's say he didn't bite the apple, women would be the weaker vessels. I mean, they still kind of are. You know, I'm not going to say all of them, but majority of the time, women are weaker vessels to the spirits, right? That's why you see a lot of perversion going on the Facebook, where they're like, you know, and then they got the tattoos right here. Like, certain things stick out where, like, it's like sexual immorality. You know what I mean? You have to really look into it. It's like deep shit. But, and you got to have an open mind to it to understand it. If you don't, then veer off of this, because you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to criticize and be like, oh, you're being in total denial. You're always going to be in denial. You know what I mean? But for me personally, I think that's what it is. I think he tainted it, and it's all in us. That's why we all have an issue, regardless of what it is. Like I said, everyone has an addiction. You know what I mean? We're all addicted to something, or we all gravitate towards something, or we all sabotage something, right? It's the sin. That's what I believe it is. I believe it's the sin that is attached somehow, some way in our energy. It sits there, and that's why, like, we're able to hear those, like, temptations. That temptation will hit you, or it'll gravitate towards you. But it's the willpower, right? Like I said in the other videos, the willpower and the faith. Faith is big. Faith is beyond. You know what I mean? Faith is just leaving it to God, and you know for a fact that you're gonna make it. You know what I mean? That's where I feel that the fight comes into. With you battle against your flesh, you battle against the spirit and stuff like that. You know? I believe that's what that is, because people like people that would do heroin for years, and they survived and got out of it, and they came to God, or they did whatever, right? Or they believed and they had faith. They've been clean for like 5 years, 20 years. You know what I mean? Like strong. That goes to tell you that you can overcome, you know, even sin. You can overcome the tempter. You can overcome the accuser, the light bearer. You know what I mean? The angel of light, they call it, because he's full of trickery. He's got a bag of tricks. You know what I mean? You think about it, like even the cereal, you know, like tricks. You know, it's all tricks. You know what I mean? Like everything in this world is fucking ass backwards, dude. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like I said, like even milk. You know what I mean? Like when they put it on a commercial, it does the body good, you know? it really doesn't. You know what I mean? Dairy is dangerous, you know? It'll give you eczema. It'll give you eczema, it'll give you bone cancer, you know what I mean? But over a course of time, it's not going to happen like the first bowl you have, it's not going to kill you. You know what I mean? So enjoy your cereal. But until then, you start getting weird knocks in your knees, or somebody punches you and your shit caves in too quick. Yeah, you probably got some bone issues, you know? But what? Your tire's over there. Why are you looking at me? Look at her, fool. Look at her. She's like, nigga. She's just a fucking trip, dude. Like, she looks at me like if I'm tripping, you know. But she's like, you get my fucking tire? Where's my tire at? Where's my fucking water? I'm just staring at me again. Look at it. She was staring. Now she moved away. She was fucking staring at me, dude. She was like, look at it. She was like a fucking cholo. Hey, you sit. Hey, you sit. Lean like a cholo. Fucking crazy ass girl, man. I'll get another one of these after a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much like what I was saying, you know. That goes upside down. So basically, like, these things are probably like somewhat cursed, I guess, because when you drink it all the way up down, like it like a bottoms up, right? You go upside down. That's when it actually gets in you, right? Because if you think about it, all drinks, all these weird drinks, like Monster or Nas, Venom, Red Bull, at some point in time you have a crash, right? They're like, oh, it's just a crash, you know. No, it's not. They know chemically what it does. After a certain amount of time, it'll give you anxiety, right? Anxiety is just another term word for fear. I believe it's frequency. You know what I mean? It lowers your frequency, and when it does, that's when there's an in-chemical balance along with the spiritual aspect and the frequency and shit like that. And then if I guess you get lucky, if you get lucky, there's a spirit around that's like, ooh, I can sense that, and it goes towards you, and it starts fucking giving you anxiety. Like, you start tripping out on dumb shit, like oh, what if I fall, or I don't know, whatever fucking fears people think, right? There was this one dude. Go get your fucking thing, dude. Hold on. Here. Some fucking water. Some fucking chips. Okay. Oh, and I usually get her these. Sorry, I just threw some food on the floor. Gave her some water. I don't know what she wants. Usually she'll bring me the tire, I'll throw it, and that's just how it works. So I get her, I got this mild one, I got the beef one. They're like $1.25, which makes more sense because it's like $2.50, right? If you get a big beef stick, like a fatter one, it's $2.90. The other ones are like $2.75. I get 2 of them for fucking $1. You know, like, it's cheaper that way. Go get your tire. Go get your tire. What? See? Sometimes she just wants to fucking fight, you know what I mean? You can see her teeth too, like, she's like, ah, you know? That's intimidation. Like, when you see that, you have to, like, put that away. People get scared, you know, like, when it comes to shit like that. Like, when you're playing with your dog, and they start doing that, ah, you know? And people see that shit, it creates fear in the mind. And when they get scared like that, that's when you start falling back. But you can't allow that to fuck with you like that, because by that time they can sense that shit. They can see energies. They feel that energy. And if you have that intimidation, they'll stomp on you. You know what I mean? They'll get at you, and then they'll really turn on you. You know. But, one time I hit her with some kung fu shit. I went like this, boom, and to her side she went, woo. She went flying. What, nigga? There, oh, fucking punk. Just a little punk, dude. She acts like a demon. She's always behind me. Get behind me, Satan. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna ignore her. If she comes up behind me, I'm gonna fucking kick her. Anyways, she needs to go get her tire. That's what we always come in here so I could throw the tire. But anyways, like I said, so it creates fear, like I said, these energy drinks and stuff like that. That's why people get anxiety or they get jittery or whatever, you know what I mean? It's an chemical balance. There's just a lot of stuff that I noticed, you know what I mean? Like when you're eating super clean, drinking clean water, you're praying and meditating, like you elevate so high and your mind's like boom, like you're real peaceful, you're at peace. You know, that's why like a lot of those monks and shit, and that, like in the Shaolin stuff, like I said, in the Shaolin temples, they're like, you know, and they're always like this, right? That's the real true way to pray. That's the real prayer. Like when before Jesus actually left and told all his disciples, they're like, how do we pray? He's like this, right? And that was at the very end before he left. That was like the main key, like, whoo, right? Kung Fu motherfuckers use that shit. You know, they're like, yeah, right? Like, I believe Kung Fu, like if you ever watch the Karate Kid with Will Smith's son and Jackie Chan, and he's like, come here, right? Because he's all like, I'm done. He's like, fuck this, because of the coat. He's like, put your jacket on. He's like, put your jacket on. And he's like, right when he's about to put it on, he's like, put it on. He's like, I don't have no jacket. He's like, put it on, right? He's like, strong, right? And he started teaching him, and then all this shit was coming out of him, and he was like, whoa, right? And he's like, focus, right? When you really pay attention to that shit, it's crazy. Because when he means it's in everything, it is in everything. I've tried it out. Like, even when I went to when I go to my mom's and my stepdad's, go swimming and shit, and then when I'm doing the jacuzzi, there's a pole that's there, right? And I was doing this. I call it the handcuff, right? And I was doing that shit to the pole, right? Because if you're handcuffed, you can only turn so much, right? You break it, right? That was something I was learning just off that pole. Boom, boom, boom. Tying around, going this way, that way, pushing off, bearing off. You know, like, it's a new technique I've been working on. No one knows about it. But then I was also doing my elbow techniques. Like I said, I was strengthening this. Crazy shit, right? But Jackie Chan ended up telling him at the end, okay, like, yeah, you did good. You did good. He's all, but I'm telling you right now, Kung Fu is everything, right? What is everything? Right? In creation, you breathe, you move, right? Omniscience, omnipresent, and I forget the other one. There's 3 of them, but all of those 3 is God. He's everywhere, everything, anything, and anything that he can be at that time that he needs you to be, or whatever you want it to be, right? Like when Moses asked him, who are you? He's like, I am what I am, right? I am what I am, right? It's whatever that he knows that you need to be, he'll be at that time, because he's everything. He's everything. You know what I mean? Everything that is here, it's all there. It's here, it's there. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you can't top that shit. Like I said, like when I was really thinking some deep shit on the way up here, and it didn't take me a long time to think about it. It just hits my mind like real fucking fast. And then it takes me about 30 something minutes to explain it. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like my intelligence like supersedes itself. Like it's even beyond its own. You know what I mean? And what does that really mean? What does that, is that really all me? Like sometimes I wonder, I believe maybe it could be coming from God and he's just talking to me and he knows I'm of a higher intelligence, or I don't know, maybe I was sent down from heaven. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm a fucking angel. Like, where do I get this energy from? Where do I get all this fortitude of thinking? And, you know what I mean? And then even to come into this aspect to want to spit out truth and speak to you guys. You think I wanted to do any of this shit or go through the battles or challenges or trials or even the suffering that I went through? Fuck no, dude. I'd rather just get fucked. I'd rather just like drink a beer, smoke a cigarette, have an easy life and just get my dick sucked and get fucked all day, have some good sandwiches or some soup or something, like I didn't want to fucking do this shit, dude. But I mean, obviously, I can't sit here and I can't complain, you know what I mean? That's just a guy's point of view, like I don't mean to put it all like that, because people are like, damn, that fool's fucking mean or nasty or, whatever. You can judge me all you want. But in reality, if you ever watch that stand-up comedy with Chris Rock, when he's all like, if you ever really know a real man, he's all like, feed me, fuck me, and shut the fuck up. That's all a guy wants, you know what I mean? Just some simple shit. Women are like, oh, I need to talk, I need to rant, you know, do you feel me? You don't understand. I get all that, you know what I mean? Like, I know everything about dudes, women, animals. Like, I feel like I know everything about everything. It's just, at the time, I don't know until I'm traveling on that aspect, and then when I'm on that road, I already know. You know what I mean? Like pretense of future pretense of other collaborated, so many other pretenses. Like, for example, to give it a short example, right? Because I'm going to have to cut this video, because I'm probably going to make another one later, or 2 more later for you guys. But what I was going to say is that there was this, not like story, but something that I had learned, right? It's like one of the Shaolin teachings, or you know, like a master, right? Like I don't think it was Mr. Shahan Lee, but it was a story about like a monk or a master or whatever like that, right? And it's a kid and then a dude talking to the kid, right? And I don't know, I can't remember specifically, but I know that the story, it goes like, okay, if you're at a top of a mountain, right? Like basically this is what it's saying, of like a point of view before you come into this life, right? Like kind of like the Matrix thing I was talking about. So like, let's say you're in heaven, right? And you make an agreement and you see how your life's gonna be, pretense, and then you're like, oh, okay, I want to live that life, right? And then when you get sent into your body and you're born, you don't remember any of that. But you know, the reason why you don't is because if you know everything, you're not going to enjoy your journey, right? So you get unplugged to get plugged into something else, and then that part is gone. There's still some small aspects there, I want to say, from the unplugging. Kind of like if you ever like pulled a cord out of a fucking like you pull a plug out of an outlet, and you see that little spark, like, right? There's still something there. So I feel like when you get unplugged from heaven to get sent down, there's still some aspect there that you kind of know, or you can sense, right? Or you get deja vu, like, oh, I've done this before, right? In this lifetime. So that's where I feel like there's still some kind of essence there, right? Because it's energy based. Can't get rid of it, you know. It's just the way life works. So see, every time I talk about some deep shit like that, I'm starting to notice, like, I get like a tad disconnected, or I feel some kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to say fear, but it's like I'm spitting somewhere real good, right? So it's like, thank you for a second. But back to what I was trying to say. So for me, okay, so you're on top of the mountain, and you can see, it's kind of like a map, right? You're on top of the mountain, and you can see everything in your life, right? Like, you see the trees, you can see the obstacles, you can see what you're going to go through, until you reach the very final end, at the end of the map, of what you see out of that whole forest from being on top of the mountain, right? Now, you know all that. You already know all that. So then why would you live the life if you already know the outcome of what it is, right? But if you get dropped, come down from that mountain, it's different. From seeing everything above, you already know, oh, it's all mapped out for me, and you know what I mean? But when you get dropped in there, no mountain, and you're right there, and you gotta face everything, there's a bunch of trees and bushes, there's a path, there's another path, right? You can't see it the way you did on top of the mountain. Now you're down here, right? And if you're a visual person, you know what I'm talking about. So you're like mobbing it, you know, oh, where's my life going, right? But see, that's the thing. It's the same shit like when they said in the Matrix, when Neo was like, oh, you know, Morpheus, you know, when he had saved that girl Trinity, right? When she was falling in the helicopter, and he wrapped that cord around him, like he started to believe, and she took faith and grabbed the cord and shot the thing, and then he pulled her up, and he's like, oh, he's the one, right? And then he starts to like kind of like come into denial again, and he's like, Morpheus, this and that. And he's like, no. He's like, the Oracle told you exactly what you needed to hear. And he's like, what? He's like, look, he's like, you're gonna learn just like I did. He's like, knowing the path and walking the path are two different things, right? It totally is. If I saw how my life was gonna pan out, oh, I already know how it's gonna go. You already know how it's gonna go, right? Why even get into it then, if you already know how it's gonna go, right? But coming down and doing it, like I'm doing it right now, experiencing it, like this, touching her, training her, her getting on my nerves, I'm experiencing that. See, but knowing it, it's not the same as touching something, experiencing something, smelling something, hearing something, understanding something, you know? It's not the same. It's not the same. So let all that sink in. It's gonna take some time, and eventually you'll get it. And one of my aunts was telling me the other night, she left me a voice memo, which was a good positive thing. And we were like, oh, God bless you and the family and stuff like that, right? And then I was telling her what I'm trying to do with these motivational videos. She said something about TikTok. And TikToks is real short expansions and shit like that. And I'm trying to look for an answer to see if, like, should I promote and push out some of my videos on TikTok? Would I stream out real well? Because nowadays, in this, like, you know, new youth and all that, all these kids are programmed to, like, the stupid shit. You know what I mean? And I've seen people go retarded just watching TikTok, like, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even funny. Like, it's like brainwashing somehow. You know what I mean? Like, I think personally, because I knew some people that were, like, in the special ops unit and, like, the military shit or whatever, but those dudes, they know the psychological traits, like how to program you to be fucking dumb, or how to rat yourself out. Like, there's so much shit that goes into that shit. And I feel that personally, that is some small aspect, the TikTok, something about the TikTok, I don't really know specifically what, but it fucking makes you retarded. It makes you fucking stupid, you know what I mean? I don't have fucking TikTok. Ever since I seen it, I was like, nah, there's something funny about that shit, right? And I've actually visually watched someone watching the shit, and I seen, like, their energy and their way their mind was thinking and all that. It made them fucking retarded. It made them stupid, you know? It, like, dumbs you down somehow. Go get your fucking tire, dude. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go because she's getting restless. She doesn't pay attention very well. Love you guys. God bless you. I hope that all sinks in, and I'll download this as soon as possible. I got some things to do. I'm waiting on a call today, and I'm hoping, I think I'm gonna grab some paperwork. I gotta go to this place over here to the office and see if they can do me something, because I was trying to do some stuff online, and I think it was like a hack or whatever. Long story, but anyways, I'll let you guys go. You guys have a good one, and I hope you guys understand the lessons and the teachings, and you can grasp the concept to all that stuff. And I hope it was good information for this morning. While it was drizzling, it's not drizzling no more. And you guys have a good day. Peace out.